Skip trick-or-treating and Halloween parties this year for those who participate. This from officials of the Ministry of Health who say these events can cause a spike in COVID-19 cases. Khrystal Wilson has more in this report.
A massive increase in COVID-19 infections. This is the risk involved in taking children trick-or-treating or having Halloween parties this year. So says head of Paediatrics at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Center, Dr. JOANNE, who was a member of Monday's Ministry of Health's virtual media briefing to update on COVID-19 matters. According to Dr. Paul, it's imperative parents keep their children away from what she described as super spreader events, and she named Halloween celebrations as one of them.
Strongly recommend that we do no trick-or-treating, no Halloween parties. We'll be going back in a few weeks' time, we'll spike again, and we'll go back to the same situation. So imagine, if you will, we go trick-or-treating with our kids. We go from house to house to house. After we do that, we now have about 100 persons exposed, the same persons. Obviously, we're transferring the same virus, and there's a risk of surge.
The pediatric doctor said instead parents can find creative and meaningful ways to spend time with their children.
Have Halloween hikes. Go on a hike with your child. Have it where you can have games night or even have movie night. You can actually stay at home and stay in your Halloween pod. So maybe a few persons, and you can actually have your mask. You can pretend anything, have games there, and you can have your sweets or non-sweets and have your own Halloween tradition.
Dr. Paul also called on adults to get accustomed to the new COVID normal. She explained with the possible reopening of the economy looming, it was important to fight the urge to join large gatherings.
If we have super spreader, if we have big lines, we have no mask, and the virus thrives on having that super spreader event. So once we have that situation, it gets more excited, there's much more spread. With more spread, we have a bigger surge of infection. What happens next? We have restrictions and we have the economy being flattened, and we don't want to go there.
Dr. Paul said culturally, Trinbagonians have grown accustomed to freedom and large gatherings. But with this freedom, especially during this pandemic, comes the need for great responsibility. Khrystal Wilson, TTT News.
In light of the COVID-19 restrictions, the limits on public gatherings, and the advice from health officials to not take children trick-or-treating, the owner of Richard's Halloween headquarters in West Mall says the pandemic has caused his customers to find innovative ways to celebrate Halloween this year.
It's a different year, it's a different world we're living in right now, but you know, the children have to enjoy themselves. And I've seen a lot of parents, you know, doing their best. They have nice little things at home for the kids, like they're having a Halloween hunt for the candies.
Richard's West Mall has been in business for over 35 years and is credited with bringing Halloween to Trinidad and Tobago. The business owner says sales in 2020 have not been all that bad.
You know, it had a lot of costumes that we didn't get in because our suppliers didn't have as well. You know, they didn't stock as well. And but you know, overall, you know, is all the little princess and all the little fairy costumes sell and thing, and the wings and that kind of stuff, you know. But overall, you know, the witches and this kind of stuff, and yeah.
And he has this word of advice for his customers and the public in general.
Our Prime Minister said, you know, just be safe in ever what we do, but the kids are looking forward for this, and so it's just to be safe.